The Justice Department releasing millions of new pages of documents from the Epstein files, and among them is a list.
You see the new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like, then I think about it, I go, that had to be there. So when I was saying that he was missing.
It looks like 50 Cent is about to get another Netflix documentary in the works, and this time, it might center on Jay-Z and his alleged involvement with Epstein.
Rap icon Jay-Z's name has surfaced in a new batch of documents released by the U.S. Justice Department related to Jeffrey Epstein.
Since Diddy's arrest, Jay's name has been in the spotlight, from the SA case involving a minor, to 50 Cent alleging that he's been on the run, and even Jay's attorney denying affiliations with Diddy. This situation might have just broken the ice. Let's dive in. On January 30th, 2026, the US government released over 3 million pages of documents tied to the Epstein files. The documents included accusations against several high-profile figures. One file that quickly went viral had Jay-Z's name in it. Reports claimed the rapper was present on Epstein Island in 2019, which immediately sparked major online conversation.
Potentially very explosive and involving many different, highly significant, influential people around the world. I imagine there'll be a lot of very powerful people will be squirming tonight and wonder what else may be found.
Back in October 2019, the FBI opened its phone lines to gather tips from Epstein's alleged victims. The goal was to encourage people to share information about their encounters with the late St. figure, and people responded. One alleged victim told the FBI's National Threat Operations Center that Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, and Sean Carter were present during her assault. According to the document, in approximately 1996, an unknown man abducted her from her home, after which she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, and believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida.
Unknown man abducted blank from her home, when she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, while Weinstein had inserted his fingers into blank, and blank believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida.
The complaint also repeated claims that the victim was drugged and kept unconscious, waking up multiple times in an opulent indoor setting in which Epstein participated. These allegations shook the music industry and sent shockwaves through fans and celebrities, especially with Jay-Z's name mentioned. One major celebrity to supposedly react was Rihanna. Word is that Rihanna unfollowed Jay-Z on Instagram shortly after the news broke, showing just how serious the situation seemed. And it didn't stop there. Pusha T's name was also mentioned in the same file, and Drake quickly commented on it. But things escalated when Pusha T flipped the situation, calling Drake out for also being named in the same file he was speaking on. Then, things took another turn. Reports say 50 Cent jumped into the situation, especially since his relationship with Jay-Z has never been smooth. This also came shortly after 50 released a Netflix documentary about Sean Diddy Combs and his dirty dealings. And just to note, Diddy and Jay-Z have long been closely associated.
It's 2020, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. The game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no...
So, this added more fuel to the fire. During Diddy's arrest in 2024, 50 Cent started taking shots at Jay-Z online, suggesting that the rap mogul had gone quiet and kept a low profile while his longtime friend faced legal trouble. The timing made it look like 50 was questioning Jay-Z's loyalty, or at least poking fun at him for staying out of the public eye.
Jay-Z ain't answering the phone?
He ain't answering the motherfucking phone.
In one Instagram post, 50 mocked Jay-Z directly, writing, "Jay in hibernation, he ain't coming outside till with Puff blow over, no brunch, no lunch, no dinner, LOL I am, all you got I am outside." The reference to no brunch, no lunch, no dinner was a clear jab at Jay-Z's famous Rock Nation brunch, a high-profile event where celebrities and industry figures often gather. In another post, 50 added more fuel to the fire. "Anybody seen JLOL Puff said the ninja ain't answering his phone, LOL." He then doubled down, sharing, "Here is Jay-Z last reported seen waving at Puffy's jet LOL." As of now, Jay-Z hasn't responded to or debunked any of 50's claims personally. What added another layer of intrigue is that Jay's lawyer, sometime in 2024, appeared on news outlets to deny any real friendship between Jay and Diddy, describing it strictly as a business associate relationship.
I mean, Mr. Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs' case or Mr. Combs. They knew each other professionally for a number of years, just like in all professions. People know each other. At the music awards, they support each other.
That explanation doesn't sit well with someone like 50 Cent, given his complicated, long-standing history with both Jay and Diddy, which includes collaborations, rivalries, and behind-the-scenes tension. To fully understand why 50 would go after Jay-Z like this, we have to rewind it back to the beginning of their beef. 50 Cent burst onto the scene in 1999 with How to Rob, a bold record where he called out several top rappers, including Jay-Z. At first, things seemed calm. Jay acknowledged the song at Summer Jam and hinted that he'd respond later. He did that same night. 50 took it as a sign of respect from the top guy in the game.
Rob was a classic.
Right.
Because Pun dissed him, Jay dissed him.
Jay-Z responded on
And
his
it was
high.
cool. And 50 was happy when Jay dissed him.
Whether this was real beef or just rap talk is still debated. What's clear is that Jay saw 50's momentum early and pushed others to step their game up before 50 took over. Jay's longtime engineer, Young Guru, also warned the camp about how important 50 was becoming. Everything shifted the moment 50 Cent released Cont'd Club. The record completely reset the landscape of rap. Overnight, 50 went from being a promising street rapper with industry buzz to the most dominant force in hip-hop. His sound, image, and presence took over radio, clubs, and conversations, especially in New York, where control of the culture mattered more than anywhere else. Around this period, rumors started circulating that 50 and Jay-Z were working together behind the scenes. Those rumors gained weight when both artists appeared on the Rock the Mic tour, which was supposed to represent unity and dominance from two of the biggest names in the game. On paper, it looked like a passing of energy between generations, or even a strategic alliance. But once the tour got going, people began noticing something odd. Jay-Z was frequently absent from several stops. These weren't small delays, neither was it one-off. The repeated no-shows led fans and insiders to question whether there was tension brewing that wasn't being addressed publicly. Not long after 50's run reached full speed, Jay-Z made a move that shocked the entire industry. He announced his retirement and released the Black Album, framing it as his final statement as a rapper. The tour that followed was branded as his victory lap, a celebration of everything he had accomplished. In interviews at the time, Jay explained that he felt he had mastered the art of rapping. According to him, there was nothing left to prove musically, and he needed a new challenge beyond the mic. The timing of that decision raised eyebrows. 50 Cent was in the middle of taking over New York, the same city Jay had ruled for years. To many observers, it felt less like coincidence and more like a strategic response to a shifting power dynamic. Some believed Jay sensed the change during the Rock the Mic tour and recognized that the spotlight was moving. Whether his retirement was driven by creative exhaustion, business foresight, or a quiet acknowledgement of 50's momentum, the move ultimately worked in Jay's favor. He exited the rap game on his own terms, at a moment when his legacy was secure. After stepping back from music, Jay redirected his energy toward business. He focused on expanding Rockefeller and later building Roc Nation into a full-scale powerhouse. One of his most significant moves during this era was helping elevate Kanye West from in-house producer to superstar artist. Jay's influence shifted from dominating charts to shaping careers, deals, and the structure of modern hip-hop business. Even with Jay focused on business, his path continued to cross with 50's in ways that kept their rivalry alive. One of the most talked about moments came when 50 unexpectedly jumped on stage during a Jay-Z and Kanye West performance.
Hey,
You can get down, nigga. You can get down. It's all good.
This a
Come
real
on then. You
special
wanna get-
moment, ain't it?
The move was playful on the surface, but it also reminded everyone that the tension hadn't disappeared. It was a moment that blended humor with subtle competition, showing that neither artist had fully stepped out of the other's orbit. Despite the jokes and public moments, unresolved issues lingered. 50 later criticized Jay for relying too heavily on traditional industry business practices, arguing that Jay prioritized deals and structure over personal loyalty. He also pointed out how Jay often avoided direct lyrical confrontations, choosing strategy over open conflict when dealing with other rappers. To 50, that approach signaled caution rather than dominance. There were also complications involving Rockefeller artists, particularly Beanie Siegel. According to 50, Jay was caught between maintaining his business interests and fully standing behind his artist. 50 suggested that Jay's hesitation reflected a larger pattern of distance between leadership and loyalty within the label. As 50's influence in New York continued to grow, the conversation shifted. Some fans and commentators began arguing that 50's had reached, or even matched, Jay-Z's level in terms of cultural impact. Voices like Joe Budden added fuel to that debate, openly questioning whether Jay still held unquestioned dominance in a city now controlled by a new force. What started as quiet industry tension had evolved into a broader discussion about power, timing, and who truly defined New York rap in that era. Jay's retirement ended around the same time 50's first major run cooled off. By 2006, with Lil Wayne rising and Kanye West about to dominate, Jay-Z made his comeback. When he returned, he reportedly questioned whether he still had what it took to compete at the highest level. Fast forward to 2020, and the tension between them is still high. 50 Cent appeared on Lil Wayne's Young Money Radio for an open-ended interview where he spoke freely about whatever came to mind. While talking about moral support, he took shots at Rick Ross and slipped in a not-so-subtle jab at Jay-Z. "I stay away from silly S because if you say to me, I'm not gonna say who I'm talking about, right? If you represent prison reform, how did you sign to a correctional officer and you managed by a snitch? Help me with this, man."
If you said to me, I'm not even gonna say who I'm talking about, right?
Please don't.
I'm just gonna say, if you represent prison reform, how did you sign to a correctional officer?
The snitch 50 was referring to is Desiree Perez, the current CEO of Roc Nation. According to the New York Daily News, Perez was a DEA informant who was arrested in 1994 for having 35 kilograms of cocaine. The report also claims she worked with the DEA, wearing a wire to help record meetings tied to major drug operations in Puerto Rico and Colombia. Jay-Z promoted Desiree Perez, a Roc Nation co-founder, to CEO in 2019. Before that, she had served as the company's chief operating officer since 2009. When Jay-Z partnered with Live Nation in 2008 to launch Roc Nation, he brought Perez and her husband on board almost immediately. Perez saw the move as a smart career step, similar to when she first entered the music industry in the early 1990s. As she got older, running the 40/40 Club became more demanding, so transitioning fully into Roc Nation made sense to her. In 2021, Donald Trump announced a list of last-minute pardons and commutations. Some names from the entertainment world were expected, like Lil Wayne, Kodak Black, and Death Row Records co-founder Michael Harry O. Harris. Others were surprising or inaccurate, like Joe Exotic and a few lesser-known figures.
And new this morning, ahead of leaving the White House, President Trump has issued his final list of presidential pardons and commutations. In all, there are 73 pardons and 70 sentences commuted. The most notable name...
Many were surprised when Desiree Perez appeared on Trump's pardon list. Despite a past 1990s drug conspiracy conviction, the Roc Nation CEO, who runs a billion-dollar entertainment and sports empire, was granted a full pardon. Her case was considered one of the less controversial pardons. Perez accepted responsibility, expressed gratitude, and said the pardon strengthened her commitment to criminal justice reform. Speculation later linked Van Jones to the process, though sources denied it, despite his #Cut50 group working with Trump, Kushner, and later Kim Kardashian on reform efforts. In 2018, the First Step Act passed, called the biggest sentencing reform in a generation. Perez's pardon raised questions about Roc Nation, though the company says it doesn't pressure artists politically. Insiders say the pardon was practical. After becoming CEO in 2019, Perez's felony record limited Roc Nation's global expansion plans, including cannabis and alcohol ventures. Jay-Z's silence on Trump fueled further speculation. While both 50 Cent and Jay-Z are elite business, not just in hip-hop, but beyond it, their relationship as rappers has always drawn criticism. Despite both being New York Giants, this new case might be blowing everything up eventually.